With 2023, this is the first regular City Commission meeting of the City of Ormond Beach, and we are in Commission chambers. I hope you felt welcomed when you came in this evening by our Economic Development Director, Brian Ronmaker, and Police Captain, Chris Roos. They served as our greeters this evening. I'm going to introduce the folks who are sitting up in front of you, and while I do that, if anybody wants to speak on any of the items on or off the agenda, please fill out a card. You would do that either with Taylor Lockhart, our recording secretary, to my right. She's to your left. Some of you may have already introduced yourselves to her. Next, we have City Clerk Susan Dodderis, Commissioner from Zone 1, Lori Tolland.
Good evening and welcome.
Commissioner from Zone 2, Travis Sargent.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome.
To my left and your right, Commissioner from Zone 3, Susan Persis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome.
And our Deputy Mayor and Zone 4 Commissioner, Harold Bryant.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome and thank you for being here.
Next, we have City Manager Joyce Shanahan, City Attorney Randy Hayes, and then way to my left and way to your right is Police Chief Jesse Godfrey, and looks like actually Chief Bailey is here tonight. I had Deputy Chief named Courtier, but the Chief is here, so thank you, Chief, for being here. For those of you listening online, I'm Mayor Bill Partington. I would ask at this time if you would please silence your cell phones. It's important that everybody silence their cell phones so we can have an orderly meeting. And then, if you would, after you silence your cell phones, please rise for the invocation given tonight by Chaplain Sam Mercado from Advent Company.
Let's bow our heads. Almighty God, we've come to this meeting to make decisions for our community. We pray for wisdom and guidance over our leaders as they make decisions for our community. May we act in accordance with what is best for our community and our fellow citizens. And we thank you for hearing our prayer. In your holy name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is probably the favorite time of the meeting when we get to invite some special people forward for recognition, and we're going to start with October being Manufacturing Month, and I'll ask Jane Pfeiffer from the VMA to bring up her team of manufacturers.
This is where you all talk.
It's my honor, on behalf of the entire commission, to present this proclamation to the VMA in celebration of Manufacturing Month. Manufacturing is a valuable and important component of the economy in Florida. Volusia County is home to over 500 manufacturing companies that employ over 12,000 people in the region, paying an average annual wage of $61,354 and contributing over $1.3 billion to the county's GDP, gross domestic product. And whereas October is designated Manufacturing Month to recognize and promote the success of U.S. manufacturers in the global marketplace, to kick off this month-long celebration, the VMA, Volusia Manufacturers Association, will be organizing We Make It Here Day on October 6, 2023. On this day, manufacturers from the region will visit schools to speak about their companies, the products they manufacture, and the high-skilled, high-wage jobs available in the industry. And whereas by working together with education, manufacturers will address the skilled labor shortage, connect with future generations, build the next generation of skilled manufacturing employees, and ensure the ongoing prosperity of the industry, And whereas the VMA events throughout Manufacturing Month aim to challenge stereotypes and present manufacturing as a dynamic and innovative field. And whereas on October 14th, 2023, VMA will present the 4th annual Robot Brawl at Jackie Robinson Ballpark, a collaboration of students and manufacturers building robots together to compete in a battle for supremacy. And whereas on October 19th, the Career Source Flagler Volusia will host an interactive career showcase for local high school students at ERAU, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, Maury Husseini Student Union Event Center. And whereas the Daytona State College Advanced Technology School will be hosting an open house event on the same day, October 19th, to unveil a manufacturer's career poster and offer students a chance to explore the facilities and programs available. Now therefore, I, Bill Partington, Mayor of the City of Ormond Beach, Florida, do hereby proclaim October 4th as a day to celebrate Manufacturing Month in the City of Ormond Beach and encourage our residents to join in recognizing the value of our manufacturers and the importance they serve in our cities, our county, state, and nation. Congratulations.
Right?
Jane, I want you to introduce these folks real quick. And then a lot of folks don't realize how incredibly important manufacturing is, just even in Ormond Beach. The life-saving and life-improving things that are made here is such a value-added process, manufacturing. To see that happen in your community, to understand how it keeps everybody's taxes lower because you have those businesses and you have a balance between the residential and the business. And so, knowing that we have companies that are saving people's lives by building things that detect gases that could be harmful. We have companies that are building large laboratories that are used in solving cancer, like actually curing cancer. Really incredible. And infectious diseases as well. So really incredible things that we all get to see, but a lot of our residents don't get to see on a daily basis. So we appreciate you. We thank you for all you do. I'm going to let you introduce some of your folks right now.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm very proud to introduce the chairman of VMA, Volusia Manufacturers Association. This is Corey McAndrew. He's the plant manager of BioLite down in Port Orange, which used to be Radon. You might be familiar with that. And he's very involved in connecting manufacturers to each other and to the community. And then we have your own Norman Lane of Rotomation. Yay. Here in Ormond Beach. You have over 26, 30 manufacturers that are here, and you have to think in your mind, we make it here. We talked about germ-free. They're the ones that have the cabinets, the germ-free cabinets, is which the person made. You've got ABB that connects the street to their house. You have your electricity. You know why? Because we've got a company in town called ABB that makes those electrical connectors. Manufacturing, I think that people have this broad idea of what it is, but you have to think about when you wake up in the morning, you think of every single thing that you touch, and guess what? A manufacturer made it. From your mattress, we have Fox mattresses down in Holly Hill made right here, but you think about your mattress, your sheets, your pillows, the bedstead, your toothbrush, your toothpaste. That is all manufacturing. You've got, I'll be quiet, okay. Anyway, manufacturing, look for them. Manufacturing rocks, manufacturing makes a difference. It offers careers that can give you a good life. There's training available all over in our community, but think manufacturing. We make it here. All right.
Make sure that you know that Rotomation makes actuators. So when you see us do this little dance, that's an actuator to make sure something evens out. So I want you to do the dance. We're going to do
Thank you.
All right. Fire prevention. Ladies ladies and gentlemen, will come forward. All right, it's Fire Prevention Week. We have a great contingent here representing the Ormond Beach Fire Department, who we are always proud of. They do an amazing job for our city, 24/7, 365. When you need them, they're there. When you don't need them, they're still there, waiting and at the ready, just in case. So, the City of Ormond Beach first responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires, fire injuries, and sudden disasters through prevention and protection education. The 2023 Fire Prevention Week theme, Cooking Safety Starts With You, effectively serves to remind residents of the responsibility we all have in maintaining a safe cooking environment. Whereas cooking fires are one of the leading causes of home fires, resulting in significant damage to properties and even loss of life, it's imperative that each member of the community recognizes their role in preventing these disasters and takes the necessary steps to ensure cooking safety. And whereas by taking proactive steps such as practicing safe cooking habits, maintaining household equipment, and being aware of potential fire hazards, residents can significantly reduce the occurrence of fire disasters. Simple actions like keeping a watchful eye while cooking, conducting regular equipment maintenance, and staying informed about potential hazards go a long way in safeguarding lives and property. And whereas the City of Ormond Beach is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all residents and visitors, fire is a serious public safety concern, and the Ormond Beach Fire Department urges all residents to take steps to prevent home fires and fire-related accidents. And whereas we owe a great debt to the brave first responders and firefighters who run toward disasters to fight fires, and we remember the sacrifices of those who gave their lives for others. Now therefore, I, Bill Partington, on behalf of the entire Ormond Beach City Commission, do hereby proclaim October 8th through October 14th, 2023 as Fire Prevention Week in the City of Ormond Beach, and urge all residents to implement preventative measures within their homes and encourage all to support the many public safety activities and efforts of the Ormond Beach Fire Department. Thank you. And then last but certainly not least, this is one that is near and dear to my heart. I'll ask from the Beacon Center, did Carmen make it?
Ormond didn't make it.
Emma, wonderful. Emma, come on up and possibly Pam Thingwall. Yeah. I don't know, yeah. But I just was looking through. So domestic violence, largely misunderstood even to this day. I've been dealing with it for 25 years. I prosecuted in a special division created specifically to deal with domestic violence, but there's so many facets to it. You ladies do the hero's work of dealing with kind of the aftermath of domestic violence. It's very complicated, and so it's my honor to present you with this proclamation. I'm going to read it and then give you a chance to speak. But this is Domestic Violence Awareness and Prevention Month. Whereas domestic violence is a violent or aggressive behavior, typically within the home, involving the abuse of a member of one's immediate family. And whereas domestic violence poisons relationships, destroys lives, and shatters the bedrock of our society, the family. Homes should be places of comfort and stability where love and mutual respect thrive. And domestic violence erodes this environment, leaving many in potentially life-threatening situations. And whereas domestic violence affects everyone regardless of income, race, gender, or socioeconomic status, still, women make up a disproportionately higher number of victims of domestic violence, with nearly half of female homicide victims being killed by a current or former male partner. And whereas Ormond Beach, Florida is a vibrant city home to around 44,000 residents and hosts to over 5 million guests who have the right to hope, freedom, economic security, safety, and the pursuit of happiness. And whereas October is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and we commit ourselves to ending this unconscionable cycle of abuse in our city. Every day in Ormond Beach, individuals and organizations play a part in supporting people impacted by domestic violence, providing services that include therapy, legal education, housing, advocacy, and medical services. We commend the heroes who courageously answer the call for help time and time again. That's both of you. Just being there for a victim of domestic violence is so important. And whereas this month we do not simply reflect on this unacceptable atrocity, we offer our compassion, respect, support, and protection to the victims and survivors while reaffirming our commitment to holding their perpetrators accountable and offering hope to those who currently reside in volatile and unsafe living conditions. We strengthen our resolve to ensure homes are places of refuge, comfort, and protection, a soft place to land, not places of fear and abuse. Now therefore, based on all of that, I, Bill Partington, on behalf of the entire Ormond Beach City Commission, do hereby proclaim October 2023 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in the city of Ormond Beach, and urge all residents, agencies, and champions to support efforts that prevent and end domestic violence. Thank you all.
So this year's campaign theme is Everyone Knows Someone. And that means it could be your colleague, could be your best friend, could be your neighbor. And it strives to highlight how common domestic violence is, and that it is more than physical violence. To raise awareness about domestic violence across the country, families and friends of victims have adopted the purple ribbon, which Emma was so sweet to bring to each one of you for this month. And to honor their loved ones who have lost their lives in the hands of a person they once loved and trusted, let's wear our purple for someone we love. There is going to be a training in Flathead County to bring awareness to domestic violence also, and then at the end of the month.
So on October 30th at 7:30 at the Hard Rock, we're having our annual Day of Unity breakfast. We invite you all to come out. This event is put on by Beacon Center. Beacon Center is Volusia's only certified domestic violence agency. So we provide emergency shelter and outreach services to survivors and children that are fleeing intimate partner violence.
And I just wanted to bring a domestic violence packet. This shows what our officers give to every single domestic violence victim. And it has inside all the information that is needed throughout the entire community for them to get the help they need.
One last thing. So to close that out, I just want to remind you all that domestic violence is not a home issue, it's a community issue. So those children that leave those homes, those women that go to work with you, those, because not all survivors are women, so there's some men out there as well. They're all a part of your community, so they're your grocery store clerk, your teacher at the school. So there's someone that you know, everyone knows someone. So we have to respond to it as a community and not the victim blaming and people scared to come out and tell the story. It should be a safe place, and that could be in the community as well, that we're responding to it the same.
You guys have said enough. Thank you so much for all of you. on audience remarks, and tonight we start with Ed Bobinski.
Hi, my name is Ed Bobinski. I live at 30 Melrose Avenue. I was here about 2 months ago to talk about residential ordinances and the failure of some to adhere to them. Just want to make a note again that I know some of my neighbors have followed the procedure as outlined by the community, and it does appear that some things aren't happening. Some follow-through isn't happening. I'm not blaming anyone because it may just happen. But something interesting. We have Manufacturing Month, we have Fire Prevention Week, and National Domestic Violence Month. All definitely very important. But what about cleaning up Ormond Beach? I think there are quite a number of people who live in our community that don't know the ordinances. They don't know them. So maybe we can get together and manufacture some awareness. Maybe we can get together and rather than have to report people that are violating the ordinances, we could prevent them from violating the ordinances. It's possible. Maybe we can take a month to do it. We have Bike Week every year. Ormond Beach is a beautiful community. Ormond Beach is a dirty community. If you drive through, I know you drive through Ormond Beach and I know you see it. I'm wondering if someone within the community, if we can't come up and devise a plan to address what's going on without getting people in trouble and without finding people and giving them 30 days, maybe we can have some kind of amnesty program where people who report don't have to give their name, and people who are violating the code really have enough time to adjust their life and maybe their lifestyle to adhere to what we have. And just one last note. During the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance, we mentioned God about a half a dozen times. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Have a good night.
Donald Cunningham.
I wanted to say something about the DVD that's in your nonfiction section of the public library. I think that it's very important. It's about, it's called,
Can you speak into the microphone a little closer there?
it's called The Best Democracy That Money Can Buy. It's produced by Greg Palance and his girlfriend Jenny. She was with her for Jeb Bush. And it's very informative how 5 million poor Democrats got knocked off the voter rolls during the early 90s. It's why Al Gore lost the election, and also why Hillary Clinton lost the election. It's all in the DVD and the nonfiction section of the book. While Bush was, Herbert Bush was president, and Jeb Bush was the governor. It was done through his Secretary of State, Catherine Harris, in conjunction with her sister as well, who was the executive director of the Mental Health Association, where I was volunteering at that time to bring a building up to code and show the drop-in center, so that kind of whistleblower. But it was going on, and there was just a lot of things that didn't add up about it, what I saw going on. What they did was they took 1 million felons in the state, and we heard George Bush and Donald Trump brag about how these 1 million felons had voted 5 to 7 times. Nobody went to jail. Both of them bragged about it. They're both guilty as hell. And I think that it's treasonous. I think that it's witness tampering, to say the least, for the fact that Al Gore was not the president. Because the Democrats got knocked out, it's my speculation that 9/11 even occurred. I happen to know the Muhammad Atta and the crowd that was running loose in Daytona Beach, and I can tell you, they were really active here before 9/11. And look into it, it's online, the best democracy that money can buy. And his girlfriend Jenny went to work for Jeb Bush and found the files right there. So,
Thank you. You've got the best behaved dog in Ormond Beach, and she's intended out there. Next is Michelle Zirkleback.
I'm way shorter than him. Good evening. I am Michelle Zirkelbach, and I'm here to first offer some kudos. I wanted to say thank you to the VMA. I don't know how many of them are still here, but I'm a proud Volusia County teacher, and we definitely need students who understand that college is not the answer for everybody, but we also need a state school education system that understands we have to have the kind of math that they can pass to get those manufacturing jobs. That's just a little side thing there. I wanted to also offer a huge thanks to one of your law enforcement officers, Officer Ravon, who was called out to help a student in distress last week, and I was completely blown away by his empathy for the child, and he really has a heart, and I was honored that he is part of the public servants that are here for us in Ormond Beach, so thank you to him. I see one of the planning board members in the audience, and I want to say thank you to the planning board. They have been struggling mightily with the wonderful Tomoka Oaks proposed development. I refuse to call it by its name because it's quite shocking to me that we've gotten this far. So I want to thank the planning board. I want to thank Steve Spraker. He has been very responsive to everything that we have asked for. I appreciate his open lines of communication. I thought it was interesting that they said that this was one of the most difficult things that had ever come before the planning board. And I imagine that it was probably a little frustrating. I just want to make sure you all are aware that they asked the applicant, they gave feedback to the applicant, they reminded the applicant, they prompted the applicant to reduce the number of homes. That the density that they are proposing is illogical for the location that we currently have. I was offended. They went from 276 to 272. I personally am tired of hearing them say, well, we could have asked for 600. That is not a valid statement. When you put infrastructure in, you could not have shoehorned 600 houses in there. They're trying to make the public think that they've made a big reduction, and they have not. I'm going to ask you, because I know in the coming weeks before this comes before you on November 7th, you're probably going to spend a lot of time researching things. I'm going to ask you, please ask the common sense questions. When you see a traffic report that tells you one additional car is going to be turning left to take their child to Tomoka Elementary School, please ask yourself if that makes sense. I'm going to ask you to please, as you're meeting with the applicant and the local people that have been hired or partnered with the out-of-state money, ask them, ask yourself, is what they're proposing best for the city and the residents of Ormond Beach? Because it is not.
Robin Magliora.
Higher, sorry. Good evening, Council. First off, I'd like to thank you for doing something we asked at the last commission meeting, which is to open up the communication between the residents and you. Your Facebook page on your social media now puts out important information for us to see. And because you're doing that now, we're also having better communication with the city as well. I would like to thank Mr. Strucker for spending the time to talk to me the other day on the phone and also sending me an email with an update, something that I put out to the citizens regarding something the city's doing. And I thank you for that, because the lack of communication, the lack of transparency is how we have all found ourselves in this situation. We can never let it happen again. I'm hopeful that it won't, because of the way the citizens and the city are now working together. And we need to keep that. We need to keep that working. That's how we get things done. I want to ask you, at the last meeting, you made the motions, you voted to not give Belvedere utilities or annex them into the city. Belvedere has since responded by saying they're concerned and they're looking into the situation. So I'd like to ask you if Belvedere is in any communication with the city of Ormond Beach or any response to what you all have done. And hopefully you can get that information to us. I don't know a lot tonight because there's not much to really talk about. One thing I do want to say is that the city of Ormond Beach, the citizens of Ormond Beach, we are not just fighting to keep Belvedere terminals out of Ormond Beach. We're fighting to keep it out of Volusia County, and we're fighting to keep it out of the state of Florida. We don't want them. They have 10 or so sites planned here. We are in the forefront. We are the one that are battling them right now. We have land that is zoned appropriate for them to move in. We also have a comprehensive amendment that describes Belvedere fuel terminals to a T. We've asked to have that removed, and I hope you're looking into that. It needs to be done. It's what needs to be done to stop Belvedere from coming into Ormond Beach, Florida. When all these other cities that Belvedere tries to move into starts looking around and researching, and they feel as helpless as we did, I hope they find Ormond Beach. I hope they reach out to us. And I hope they say, if Ormond Beach can do it, so can we. So let's be the forefront for Florida. Let's keep Belvedere terminals out, and let's show all these other cities that it can be done. Thank you.
Rebecca, then Julie.
Hello, thanks for having us. I have to play mommy tonight, so just kind of piggybacking off of Robin. One of the main things we have to do, let's not lose sight or focus on what's really important in this community, and it's the kids, right? The reason we're fighting this fight, or the reason we're asking you to fight this fight, is for them, right? The things that we asked you to do, you've done, and we appreciate it. I don't know if I can say a lot on the county, still seems a little bit confusing or shaded the trails there. So I want to commend you guys for that, and I hope that you continue to fight for us, to fight for these kids and all the children in this community. We need you. They need you. With that going forward, last time I asked about potentially having an engineer to calculate blast radius explosion as far as that, what will happen with that. I've asked a couple of my engineer friends, they gave me some calculations, but they're very wild. It's anywhere from like 8 miles to 35 miles because we don't know the specifications of the containers that are holding it. Obviously, certain materials will absorb impact and explode differently. So I get that. But you guys have the resources that we may not be able to come up with to find more accurate information as to what that will do, because one of the things we have to do is not lose fight. We can't lose our momentum. And we need more people in the community outside of that little confused 1 mile radius to be aware that their homes, their lives are also impacted by that. So if you guys could please find a way to do that so that you can help save my kids and everybody's kids in this area. We want to continue to live here and enjoy this area. Like this gentleman said, we want to keep the city beautiful, and that is an imperative part of it, is keeping Belvedere or any potential company of that nature out of this community. They have something they want to say too.
Please keep working, or you can just stop at the fuel farm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Commission the minutes from the regular city commission meeting of September 20th, 2023 have been sent to you for review. Also posted to the city's website. Any additions, deletions, or corrections?
Move approval. Second.
Seconded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, we'll show this passing unanimously. The following items are, well, actually, it's a community redevelopment item. The City Commission serves as the CRA of the city and must review these items and make a recommendation as the CRA. Therefore, at this time, we will recess the City Commission meeting, call the CRA meeting to order, and I will open the public hearings and ask our secretary to read 7A.
Resolution number 2023-159, a resolution of the City Commission also acting as the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Ormond Beach, Florida, accepting a proposal from John Searcy and Associates, Inc. to provide construction administration services for the downtown East Granada Utility Undergrounding Project, authorizing the execution of a work authorization thereto and setting forth an effective date. This is resolution number 2023-159, read by title only.
Thank you. And I don't have any cards.
Mr. Mayor, I will approve resolution number 2023-159.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Yes, sir. Commissioner Sargent.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. When I read this, I was a little confused as to why we were going to pay someone almost $40,000 to be a consultant on this. And I asked the city manager about this because to me, you hire a company, they have a foreman, and they should work with the city. And I just want the residents to know that the reason why we have to do this is because it's a requirement of FP&L. It's not anything else. We're required to do this, so it'd be clear why we're spending almost $40,000. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. And so the motion to recommend this to the City Commission is pending. It's been seconded. Any further discussion of the CRA? If not, I'll call the vote and ask all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, and we'll show that passing unanimously. I'll close the public hearings and reconvene the City Commission meeting, and we are at the consent agenda. Does any commissioner wish to pull any item off of the consent agenda? Commissioner Sargent.
I'd like to pull 9E. Echo.
I move approval of the consent agenda minus, would it be 8E?
Yeah.
8E.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
8E.
8E.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Please call the vote.
Commissioner Sargent,
Yes.
Commissioner Persis,
Yes.
Commissioner Briley,
Yes.
Commissioner Tolland,
Yes.
Mayor Partington.
Yes. 8E.
Resolution number 2023-163, a resolution rejecting all bids for the Bailey River Bridge Roof Replacement Project, bid number 2023-04, authorizing the solicitation of proposals and setting forth an effective date. This is resolution number 2023-163, read by title only.
Just need a motion and a second for discussion.
So,
Second.
Seconded. Commissioner Sargent.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. I pulled this item because once again, I'm having trouble with our bidding process. And I know that we do it according to law, but I think we need to do something more. And this is a prime example. Well, let's back up. The one we just approved for that project, the electrical, that was almost $1 million contract. We had one local electrician respond to it. Now here we are with a roof replacement on Bailey River Bridge. AAT gave us an estimate for $45,000. We received one bid at $157,000. And for some reason, AAT didn't even respond to the bid. So I'm just having a hard time with, and I think we need to adjust our bidding process, Mr. Mayor. That's just, that's all I have on that one that I wanted to bring up during this time. And I know we do it all legally. I understand the Manstar. I did a webinar with Manstar yesterday. There's ways to do bidding and stuff. I get it, but I feel like we need to do more. That's all I have to say. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
No, I appreciate that input. And this one, it's a weird one when you look at it. It's a shake roof, obviously. I don't know that we need to have a actual shake roof on there. I don't know if you've looked at faux shake roofs, possibly doing something a little less expensive. I think just a regular ceramic tile roof would look fine on that building. You know, it's no bigger than a house. I know people who have just replaced their roofs recently, anywhere from $14,000 to $16,000. A cedar shake roof can cost 5 times that. So when I first looked at this bid for $150-something thousand from a company down in Fort Lauderdale, $157,575.56, I thought that's, you know, outrageous. But then when you see how much a shake roof is and how far they would have to come to perform on that, I thought, well, maybe it's not that outrageous. But I don't know why they're the only person bidding on it. When we have so many local contractors, why wouldn't one of them have jumped in? And then I don't know if we need to do the cedar shake. I would just ask if staff would look at the faux shake, if it's less expensive but provides the same look, or even just a regular roofing tile. Commissioner Tom.
I just have a question, and just for our benefit and maybe the residents' benefit, can staff explain the process in how we advertise and all? Is there a quick little process so we understand and everybody understands how that process occurs? I don't know who would be the appropriate person, Sean.
I do. In a quick nutshell, for the public record, Sean, and the public works director. Quick summary. There's two real steps. Once the commission gives us disposition to advertise, typically that following Friday we post it to Demand Star. The other big step for advertising is an advertisement, the traditional legal advertisement of Daytona Beach News Journal. That'll happen the following Sunday after. We typically keep that open for 30 days, depending on when it falls. Sometimes it's 31, 32 days to give respondent, contractors, consultants a chance to see that. Generally speaking, that's the accepted principle, the practice that most communities use. The newspaper was what it was for a long time for most municipalities. Demand Star took it to another level and it cast a much wider net. When they put it on Demand Star, there's a lot of keywords specifically to the type of work that is being proposed for here. In this case, a roofing contractor. So there will be keywords that if someone is a roofing contractor, they will put in those types of bids that they want to see. They can be inundated with every single bid for every single residential or commercial construction that comes around, or they can just limit themselves to what they specifically want to see. So depending on the contractor, that's how wide the net they may or may not cast. So that's really where we're at. That's our process for bidding.
Is that what most other cities around us use?
That's what most other cities. There's some that do bids right there directly on their webpage. There's some that have a hybrid of that. I've noticed on Demand Star myself that there are, when you look up there, they will say that it's hosted by a sister. So there's some other systems out there. Demand Star seems to be the most widely used. I believe all the municipalities in Volusia County use Demand Star, so it's a natural for us to use Demand Star.
Commissioner Sargent and Deputy Mayor Burley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Demand Star also has you can take it one step further. Instead of just posting, you can also go through and you can click specific, like for instance on this bid, let's just say roofers. You can specifically click on the roofers in our area that are registered with Demand Star to make sure that they get that, even if they're not searching for keywords. So that's all I'm saying, is I think we need to do another step in this process, because to me, this is unacceptable, getting one bid from someone in Fort Lauderdale when we have lots of roof companies. Either they're not viewing it, we need to do a campaign to educate our local businesses on how to do this process, or we need to revamp the process. That something needs to be fixed on this. I just have a hard time with someone giving an estimate, they don't even bid on it. I mean, thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's all I'll say tonight.
Yes, sir. Deputy Mayor Burley.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. And I think you pointed out that a cedar shake roof or a shake roof for this building would be more costly. I think the question may make the question: what was the original material used on the roof? Because I think what we want to do is try to keep the historical and keep it with historical significance of the building. I don't remember at one time if that building had a metal roof or not. If it did, probably would have been, since they used that building they have used it in the past for meetings. also for weddings or that type of thing. I know typically a metal roof when it rains is very loud. So, so I can see where, I don't know if other folks in this area do that type of roofing. I just don't know. And maybe that's why we only received one bid. I don't know. Sean, you may know. I don't know if many places here in town do shake roofs.
We don't have the opportunity to do too many shake roofs. I know that the reason why this was specified was the historic nature of the church.
Right.
That was what it currently is. We can do some research to see if there's other things. I think that if we elect to go with a different one, we may need to bring it to the Historic Preservation Board just to make sure that it is an acceptable substitution, or to get certificate of appropriateness to allow us to do something different. So
I guess,
that would be the route. But if it's the commission's wish, we can certainly explore that and take it to HLPD.
I guess my preference is, we've lost a lot of historic buildings in Ormond Beach, and the ones we have left, I'd kind of like to keep them as historically appropriate as we can. If it didn't have a certain type of roof, I think we should either put on there as close to what was there as we can, or find a very close substitution. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Commissioner Soto.
Sorry, I thought I was done. I understand this is a special roof. I get it. I get the historical side of it. I still have a problem that we don't have a local roofer bidding on it. That's where I have heartburn. We have great roofers in this area, and I have a hard time that they did not want to bid on it. To me, it's kind of boils down to one of two things. Either one, they don't know about it, or two, the city's too hard to deal with, that they've dealt with in the past, they don't want to. I don't know. I just want to get to the bottom of it and get more bids. So we're spending the taxpayers' money wisely. Now I'm done. Thank you.
Commissioner Collins.
I was gonna say, so Mr. Mayor, how do we address that? Should we ask staff to look at the process and see if there's another way we can get that advertised? I tend to agree with Commissioner Sargent. I like keeping things local. I like competition. And we have, we just celebrated the manufacturing company and all the good things they do in our community. So let's try to keep the money here.
Yeah, my suspicion is staff heard each of you and is already working on that. But if we need to do a specific affirm that, we can do it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We hear you, and we will investigate the process and bring something back. Probably not.
That's fine. Thank you.
So 8E, what we have left to do is a vote to reject all bids, which is more kind of a procedural thing, but a necessary step in the process. Anybody else have any further discussion on 8E?
Move approval of 8E.
Second.
Please call the vote.
Commissioner Briley?
Yes.
Commissioner Tolland?
Yes.
Commissioner Sargent?
Yes.
Commissioner Persis?
Yes.
Mayor Partington?
Yes. And are there any consent agenda items that a commissioner would like to comment?
I have.
Commissioner Collins.
On 8B, I just want to just point out that I do like the idea that we provide incentive for businesses to work here and to come here. And I really like the fact that this is performance-based. And so I just wanted to make that comment.
Anyone else? Commissioner, sorry.
8C, the resolution for the Volusia Regional SWAT team. I think this is a great thing for our law enforcement officers to be participating in. Gives them extra training. There's no cost to citizens of Ormond. This is a great thing, and I'm glad that we're approving it tonight. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Good stuff. If there's nothing else, we'll move to public hearings. I will open the public hearings. Ask our clerk to read 9A.
Ordinance number 2023-49, an ordinance amending section 1-14, development orders and building permits of Article 2, administration and enforcement of Chapter 1, general administration of the City of Ormond Beach Land Development Code, by adding requirements for certificate of use, repealing all inconsistent ordinances or parts thereof, providing for severability, and setting forth an effective date. This is the second reading of ordinance number 2023-49, read by title only.
Thank you, Susan.
I move approval of ordinance number 2023-49.
Second.
Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Tolland?
Yes.
Commissioner Sargent?
Yes.
Commissioner Persis?
Yes.
Commissioner Briley?
Yes.
Mayor Partington?
Yes. 9B.
Ordinance number 2023-50, an ordinance approving the final plat for the Archers Mill Phase 1 subdivision shown within Phase 3 of the Plantation Oaks Planned Residential Development, establishing conditions and expiration date of approval and setting forth an effective date. This is the second reading of ordinance number 2023-50, read by title only.
Thank you. I don't have any cards.
Mr. Mayor, move approval.
Second.
Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Sargent?
Yes.
Commissioner Persis?
Yes.
Commissioner Briley?
Yes.
Commissioner Tolland?
Yes.
Mayor Partington?
Yes. 9C.
Resolution number 2023-164, a resolution declaring the intention of the City Commission to consider vacating a portion of Benton Street, a platted public right-of-way south of Pennsylvania Avenue located between Volusia County parcel identification numbers 3136-01-08-0010, 3136-01-07-0010, and 3136-01-01-0021, and along Volusia County parcel identification numbers 3136-01-01-0021 and 3136-01-21-0050, establishing a time certain for a public hearing and setting forth an effective date. This is resolution number 2023-164, read by title only.
Thank you. And Commission, the only card I have is from the applicant, if needed. Does anyone have any questions of Stephen Spraker or the applicant?
Mr. Mayor, move approval of 2023-164.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Stephen, was there anything you needed to put on there? All right, thank you. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Persis?
Yes.
Commissioner Briley?
Yes.
Commissioner Tolland?
Yes.
Commissioner Sargent?
Yes.
Mayor Partington?
Yes. 9D.
Resolution number 2023-165, a resolution declaring the intention of the City Commission to consider vacating a portion of Hammond Street, a platted public right-of-way south of Pennsylvania Avenue and north of Plantation Oaks Boulevard, located between Volusia County parcel identification numbers 3125-08-00-0014, 3136-01-07-0010, and 3136-01-01-0021, establishing a time certain for a public hearing and setting forth an effective date. This is resolution number 2023-165, read by title only.
Same thing, Commission, no cards.
I move approval of resolution number 2023-165.
Second.
Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Briley?
Yes.
Commissioner Tolland?
Yes.
Commissioner Sargent?
Yes.
Commissioner Persis?
Yes.
Mayor Partington?
Yes. 9E.
Resolution number 2023-166, a resolution declaring the intention of the City Commission to consider vacating a portion of Rosemary Street, a platted public right-of-way south of Pennsylvania Avenue located between Volusia County parcel identification numbers 3136-01-09-0001 and 3136-01-08-0010, establishing a time certain for a public hearing and setting forth an effective date. This is resolution number 2023-166, read by title only.
Thank you, Susan. Again, no cards.
Move approval.
Second.
Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Tolland?
Yes.
Commissioner Sargent?
Yes.
Commissioner Persis?
Yes.
Commissioner Briley?
Yes.
Mayor Partington?
Yes. Thank you, Parker. Nice to see you. We will close the public hearings and move to reports, suggestions, requests, starting with City Manager Joyce Shanahan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. September 6th meeting, you directed staff to come back to you and provide some options for the I-2 zoning district. One of those options could be to strike through and delete that zoning district. Or you can decide, currently we have no properties that are zoned I-2 in the city of Ormond Beach. So staff needs direction from you on that, and once we get that direction, we can come back to you with an ordinance on that.
I encourage us to delete it.
I'm in favor of that as well. I think we should do that.
Commissioner Sargent.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I had a phone call today from Tad Durrance, who is the owner of Halifax Paving, who I guess received some information about this change. And he was just concerned that with this change, he might be limited on his property. And just, maybe you can just reach out to him and clarify for him, or I don't need anything. If you can just reach out to Tad, just let him know. I just want you know you need to reach out to me today. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I think it's a great idea.
I do too.
And the second, thank you for that direction. The second part was your desire to look at creating interlocal agreement with Volusia County. So we will start looking at that. What I would like to do is, that's a longer process. The one that we had for US 1 took 4 years to get accomplished. We finally got that past the finish line, but they're different players now, so I think we'll have a much better opportunity for that. So thank you for that direction. What I would like to do is ask to make sure that we have currently we don't have a second meeting in December. In order to get some of these things done, we will need a December 19th meeting. And I want to know if it's okay to schedule a December 19th meeting.
I'm good with that.
I'm good with that date.
That works for me.
Do you have any questions for me?
Any questions for the city manager?
All right, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you. City Attorney Randy Hayes.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm just going to jump on Joyce's comment regarding the interlocal agreement. There's 2 ways we can go with that. It's either expand the footprint of the one we have on Northwest or do a separate one. It's kind of a long-term project. There are some potential legal issues that we have to navigate through that. So that's kind of in the mix of the issue that we're dealing with now. We're working forward, but it's not going to be a quick process or a quick fix. And it's not something that we're going to be working on forward right now because there are some things that we've got to push forward in front of that. So I just want to make clear that it's on our radar. We're going to work on it, but don't expect anything very soon.
Any questions for Randy?
I do. I just want to confirm, it is all the properties, the areas that are city and connect with county. We're looking at all of that in the whole periphery, or are we just focusing on one area?
Well, it could be as broad as you want it. And the city manager's right, it took us 4 or 5 years to renegotiate the Northwest 1 agreement. And there's another part to this. It's not just us, it's Volusia County. And so the two, it's a complicated process. It's very, very complicated. We've been through it before, so we're not new to it. We know what we need to do. We know what it's going to take to get it done, and they're different. They're different avenues to accomplish it. So, essentially, I think what you want to look at are issues related to the common boundary line, and that's going to require some discussion with Volusia County, understanding what legal constraints they may have under existing law, what they can transfer jurisdictionally over to the city. It's going to be a very huge task. And as you know, we have a number of other very important things on our plate right now. So whatever the best avenue may be, we will bring that back to you either in a form of a recommendation or to get additional direction when we get to that point in time. But we're not going to eliminate anything as a possibility. We're going to look at everything, if that answers the question.
Yes, thank you.
I have one question. Thank you, Mr. Mace. What would be the timeline, if you could guess? I know you can't give me a definite answer, but just until we get that information, how long it would
for the interlocal planning agreement.
Yeah.
I couldn't even begin, it's not even on the radar right now. So I couldn't even, if you want to use, the timeline for what we went through on the Northwest one, it was a 4-year process. And then we had issues that stemmed from that, which was another, 4-year process. So it can take a very long time. There are certain legal issues that are related to jurisdiction and the ability to regulate. And there's a mechanism by which one jurisdiction can lawfully transfer powers over land within its jurisdiction to another entity. And a lot of that is framed up by what general law allows us to do. And of course, that's constantly changing. And so there have been some recent changes that make it more challenging for Volusia County, I think, than it does for us. And so because of that, I can't really give you a good answer to that question.
Thank you, Randy. And tonight we start with Commissioner Persis.
Great. Good afternoon. Gosh, good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to be here. It seems like the holidays are almost coming, and there's been so many activities. We've been busy on the commission. I know there's events. It seems like all the time now. I guess we're kind of over everyone being afraid of going out. Everybody's out now, and we're kind of back to that. Let's go. Let's keep doing things. And so I've been jumping right into doing things. First of all, last night we had the National Night Out, and I just want to thank staff. I want to thank our police officers, our fire officers that were there, talking to kids, doing things. We had so much fun seeing people out and about. It was just really nice having us. So I just want to thank you for that. We had a lot of people there too. And the best thing was it was at the Casements. It was breezy. We had a nice breeze. It wasn't so hot. It was a beautiful view and a beautiful night. So I love that event. Also, we right here in this chambers, I think it was a week or so ago, we had important members of our government. We had our mayor, we had our state senators right here announcing the moving up of the Divergent Diamond Interchange, which is coming to us at Ormond Beach, 95 and US 1. That's was built in the 60s. It's old. I know there's lots of accidents there. It's kind of dangerous. And so FDOT has moved that up. It's going to be coming here. It's going to cost the city nothing. It's fully funded, which is quite unusual. And so we're very lucky to have that. And I know the mayor did a great job of just welcoming everyone and talking about how excited our city is to get this interchange going. I think it was going to be completed it's going to start in 2027. I think it would be completed. So really, it's not that far away to get something like that. So that's very exciting. That's coming right here to Ormond Beach. I attended the League of Cities dinner last week in Edgewater, and that was wonderful. Just talking with other commissioners, other mayors in the county of Volusia. They did a really nice job. I attended the B-Card breakfast at the airport last week, and we talked about water issues mainly, and just how important getting the best kind of pipes and everything in for water when there's new developments. They talked about in the future we would be building more up than out because of, we don't have as much land. But it was a very informative breakfast. And let's see. Oh, and I also attended the elected officials icebreaker at the beautiful Brown and Brown building in Daytona Beach, looking over that beautiful esplanade that's just about finished. It's just absolutely spectacular. And it was just kind of a nice mix and mingle with elected officials and with the Chamber of Daytona and the Chamber of Ormond Beach and people from really cities all over Volusia County. So it was really nice of the Chamber to sponsor that. And I also attended 2 ribbon cuttings. One was the Steel Oak coffee shop on US 1. I think they moved from one place to another right there on US 1. But I will tell you, their coffee is some of the smoothest coffee I've ever had. So if you're a coffee drinker, go head out there because it's really delicious. And the last ribbon cutting that I went to, and Commissioner Sargent was there with me, was the Ocean Vista Counseling Center that opened right up on Granada. And, after hearing about, what we talked about with violence and human trafficking and everything, having another place for people to go, whether it's children, adults, marriage counseling, or any kind of counseling, it's a wonderful place. It was really a beautiful, open, very calming place, and I know it's going to be well used right here in Volusia County for many people. And with that, I think I've shared everything that I've done, and I hope each of you have a great evening and you be safe tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Deputy Mayor Bradley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I won't take up a lot of time. I will say, and sometimes when you go second, a lot of things are covered. I did attend the Moving Forward Initiative press conference we had here at City Hall. Was very, very nice. And Mayor Carney, you did a great job representing our city on this important project. I think it is important to note this has nothing to do with the fuel farm. This project has been talked about. We've been planning this thing, gosh, over at least 20 years. So this is this is one of the oldest interchanges in the state of Florida. So it's nice to kind of get some money into Ormond Beach to get this done and make that interchange much safer. I was able as well to attend the National Night Out last night. Thank you to the chief, to our fire chief, they were there. Thanks to our first responders, DW, thank you for being there. Thanks to all our law enforcement guys being there. The hot dogs and water, I did not have any, but I understood they were fantastic and always a big hit. And having it in the casements was fantastic. The weather was just absolutely great. I actually think it was nice. We actually had able to have a petting zoo for the kids. And we couldn't really do that when it was at the Nova Rec, so that was fantastic. And lastly, Mr. Mayor, I just want to say, for the past, 10 or 11 months, it has been a pleasure to sit here and serve as Zone 4 City Commissioner. And we've had a lot of things come before the City Commission the past year. We had the fuel, we're still dealing with the fuel farm. We're dealing with a large subdivision to our west, well, kind of in the center of town. And we've dealt with a lot of other things too. And it really has been a pleasure to serve as your City Commissioner, Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to let you all know and let those that are here know that I do plan to run for re-election next year. So I'd like to continue to serve you all in certainly a way. Thank you.
Thank you. And we will go to Zone 1, Lori Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First thing, I'm trying to connect with some of the things I've done with some of the things that happened tonight. So the fire department, I had an unfortunate opportunity to have to call 911 while I was at church. And I just want to compliment the fire department for their prompt arrival. They worked efficiently. Our parishioner was taken to the hospital and he's fine. But I just want to compliment our fire department on that. I just, when you see it in action, it's always very different when you're personally invested in it. So thank you so much for that. And one thing I did attend that you all haven't talked about, I went to the Volusia County Schools meeting with Dr. B the other day, and Mr. Persis was there. I saw Carl there. And Mr. Rademacher was there too, our business person. And what it was doing was they were talking about opportunities in schools to connect children with business and economic opportunities and kind of like programming. I was not able to stay for the entire thing, but there were a lot of good companies there, networking with each other and with the school system. And when I saw us honoring the manufacturing folks, it just comes full circle, and it starts with our kids and our youth. So, and thank you, Brian, for being there and representing Ormond Beach as well. I appreciate that. The Scenic Loop and Trail has been meeting regularly now. They really have increased their social media presence, and I want to thank the city for and Jen Elston particularly for reposting some of the important things that they're doing and their initiatives. They are really actively engaging members in growing that enthusiasm. And thanks to you all, the that organization will be presenting to the Quality of Life tomorrow and kind of pitching what they're hoping to see. So I want to thank Robert Caroline for kind of putting that together with the Quality of Life. And thank you for you all for that support. I enjoyed the workshop for Casson Park. I'm excited to get that moving. I think the whole area looks beautiful. I love the way they identified the stakeholders of the boaters, the walkers, and the front lawn and the fishermen. I think that whole park will be it will be such a beautiful. I can't think of the word. Thank you for the city. Natural Night Out was fun. Took my 2 grandkids, had a blast. Has met some fun people. DJ Tremble, he always makes it fun. Hot dogs, it was well organized. And what was neat was you saw police and firemen all over, talking to all the residents. Everybody was having a blast. And there were really 2 cute police cadets kind of doing the gritty, walking up to where DJ Tremble was playing his music, and it was absolutely hilarious. Do you know what the gritty is?
No.
Oh, you're right. I'm not going to explain it, or I'm not going to do it. It's a dance move, guys. It's a dance move. Anyway, let's see. I think that's it. Thank you so much, and thank you for all the residents for being here.
Thank you, Commissioner Sargent.
I only have 2 pages tonight.
I did.
I do have one question for the city manager. Last meeting, we voted to postpone the survey for the airport. With that being said, does that vote or postponing that in any way affect the operations of the airport? Is anything shut down, or is it operational as usual?
No, there's nothing operational that's shut down, but Brian and I had a long conversation. Nothing operational is shut down, but Brian and I had a long conversation today about how we can bring that back to you, so we'll look at that.
Thank you. Thank you to Public Works and all of city staff during this last week when we had all the heavy rains and all the streets flooding and culverts overflowing and everything that was going on. I know the city manager and the police chief and everyone else was out driving around early in the mornings to keep the residents safe and things functioning. And really appreciate everything y'all do. Thank you to Danielle Henderson and all that were involved with planning the National Night Out last night. What a great event. My 2 boys and I went. The highlight for me was really seeing, well, besides spending time with my family, was really seeing all the first responders walking around with their families and with their kids and enjoying themselves. If next year, though, if we could have grilled hot dogs and not boiled hot dogs.
You get a British grill?
I'm just saying. Yes. Thank you to Jen Elson. She's not here, but she really has been getting the word out there to the residents with Facebook, all of our social media outlets, the website. I know the residents, one spoke about it, but I know I've heard a lot of positive feedback. So I really do appreciate it. That does really breed transparency. And I think that's a great thing. 2 things. On the Virgin Diamond interchange, that was one of the oldest. It was built during the Eisenhower administration. I think big thank you to Representative Leak, who's our appropriation chair, for helping to bring that money home to the area. And to everyone that attended Mayor, you did a great job, as everyone said. But I think it's very important to recognize Representative Leak for his hard work of what he's done in Tallahassee for us. And lastly, I'll end on the bidding process. I just want to be clear, I'm not saying anyone is doing anything wrong. I just think we need to fix the process. We need to do whatever it takes to be able to obtain more bids, local bids, and whether that's like I said, whether we need to ask Charlene to post them or we post them on our webpage, social media, if we have to have a drive to encourage local businesses on how to sign up to bid, those are things that I think are very important, because I'm just flabbergasted that we only got one roofing bid from a company in Fort Lauderdale. That was 150, 200 some times what we were told it might cost. So, well, just when I looked that up, I've been saying this for a while, and I know that staff is going to work on it. I'm confident on that. And with that, thank you to everyone. Thank you to staff. Thank you for all the residents that came out. Have a good night.
Thank you, Commissioner, and Commission has always done a great job covering everything. National Night Out was fantastic, wonderful decision to have it over at the Casements. Filled it up perfectly, and my first impression on driving in and seeing the fire chief there in the parking lot, making sure everybody was parking where they're supposed to, just a watchful eye of Howard Bailey, whether it's in this chambers, making sure we're not overpacked and unsafe, or in the parking lot of the Casements, making sure everybody's doing things safely. Chief, you didn't see me, but I saw you, and I appreciated the fact that you were out there taking care of us. Chief Godfrey had been there earlier most of the days setting up, and it was just an incredible job. I loved seeing the families around the little zoo area where kids could pet all the different farm animals. They were awesome. And then the alligator is always one of my favorites. Just seeing the reactions from adults and kids alike. And the FWC gentleman is so much fun with them. He was having a good time, and so were the kids. Seeing Danielle Henderson running with her camera to catch her son holding the gator before he put it down. That was a lot of fun. A great event, and it accomplishes exactly what the National Night Out event is supposed to accomplish, and that's connecting our officers with our residents, and they do a really great job with that. The FDOT piece, you covered that well. I just want to thank FDOT for being such a great partner, and also Miriam Diaby for making that happen. Really incredible the work that they put in, along with this commission and our staff, to bring a huge project to Ormond Beach, much needed. When you look at the safety and the number of serious accidents and deaths at that intersection, the improvements are going to be fantastic. Also want to thank the Volusia Manufacturing Association. They gave us kind of a big bag to give us a deck of playing cards, which include our local businesses as well as some of the other businesses in Volusia County. I didn't have time to pull out all of our local businesses. I was hoping it was going to be like a royal flush or something, but German Fruit's here, Automation's here, Edgewell's here, just a little information and a Q code on each card so you can pull that up without knowing. That's an awesome way for them to get their message out, and they do a lot of good for our community. And I want to thank especially tonight the Volusia League of Cities for their support regarding the opposition to the Belvedere Fuel Farm. It's really been exceptional, the response from city after city approving a resolution in support of Ormond Beach, working to make sure that that project does not happen near our city in Volusia County. And they don't want to see it really anywhere in Volusia County. So Joyce, I know you're compiling each of those resolutions as they come in. We've got a majority of the cities already, and I think there's more on the way. So perfect. Thank you for that. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you all.